you ever feel like it's not your week, I understand. Last video I made was rear brake calipers sticking on a Sunday when the parts stores aren't open. This is a front brake caliper sticking days before Christmas, when the stat holidays are the first of the next week and you just can't get part. I need this. So we're gonna rip into a front brake and see why it's sticking and if we can rescue it, you know, at least in the short term. Good times. Here we go. Okay, here we're at. Slide pins are sliding top and bottom, which means if it's the caliper, it's gotta be the pistons in here. So we're gonna peel it back. I would say it is stuck. Perfect. This is not stuck, which means it's got to be caliper. And check it out. See that? Yep. This one doesn't move. This one does. This one doesn't. Now, I've taken these before and I've oiled them and I've squished them back in and I've done all sorts of foolishness to try to get them going. I need this vehicle. Parts stores are open for like 2 more days before Christmas, so we did the parts store scramble and one is available. We're just gonna change the caliper. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get rid of this one, put a new one on, bleed the brakes, and get this done. Okay, so I'm gonna get you in here for a shot of sort of disassembly. I've got it all apart. I just did the other side. I'll show you that. Figured since I was in here anyway and had the parts, need to do it sometime, I'd do this. So to disassemble the other side, to investigate, I took this 14 mil bolt out and this 14 mil bolt out and just swung the caliper away. You'll see that on the other side. Looks like that. And then to take the bracket off, it's this, in my case, 17 mil. There's another 17 mil down there and everything came off. And then I took the banjo bolt out right here and quickly swap the new caliper in. I'll show you that on the other side though. So in case you're trying to envision what this looks like, this is the bracket. It's got the brake pads in there. It goes on right here. It's held on with a bolt right there, one at the bottom. And then the caliper fits over top of it, right like that. And your little slide pins go in that gap. I've already taken them out. So I didn't do much for you on the disassembly. Probably not gonna help you much on the assembly either, but maybe seeing it with new stuff on it will help. Who knows? Maybe it won't. I never promised it would. Okay, here's our new caliper. You know, some new pins. Look at that, a new banjo bolt they even sent. That was right nice of them to throw that banjo bolt in. And 2 crush washers. Right there, we need them both. I say 2, I only see 1. There's the other one. So we're gonna unwrap this and we're gonna separate the caliper from the bracket by taking these bolts out so we can grease our slide pins and get our brake pads installed. That's the plan. Set those over there where we can lose them in the dirt. That'd be great. Okay, there's the 2 pieces. We're gonna put the brake pads in this, grease those pins up. I'll show you that. I like to do the pins first because if you drop it with the brake pads in, they fall out, but if you drop it with the pins in, they don't. So there you go. We're gonna take some of this. We're gonna dab it right on there. Here we go. Don't need a whole lot, just get her on there. I should add that if you get too much, it can create suction and things won't work right. The problem is I don't know how much is too much. Remember how I said this was not an instructional video? I wasn't kidding. I'm just a guy in a garage full of stuff, a dirt floor, trying to save some money. Go find a different instructional video. This one's just saying you can do it, maybe. Also, new calipers should probably have the pins greased already, but do I really want to risk it, you know? So I always check. Okay, brake pads come with these little clips. And mine come with these little springs, and I'll show you where the springs go in a minute after I drop them on the floor and then hunt them down. But these clips, if you played with puzzles as a kid, you can figure it out. They go right in here. You just flip them around until they kind of fit the right way. There you go. And they snap right in just like that. That's what they look like. Grab the other one, flip it around until it looks like what it should. snap it right in that side. Now the brake pads are gonna slide in here. If you can't figure out how, hold your bracket on the way it goes, and your brake pad, the curve of them follows the curve of the brake rotor. I'll show you. There's brake pad number 1 in. We're gonna go brake pad number 2. Start from the outside, push it in there, and it should slide right in. Now, normally you need 2 hands, because these little anti-rattle clips, well, they're a pain. Some guys, I'm told, don't even use them, but I figure they give them to me, so I'm gonna use them. It just means when I'm installing stuff, sometimes I need 2 hands, and there might be words. You never really know, but most of the time, it goes all right. So there's what I meant by follows the curve of the brake rotor. If you can see that, that's gonna mount right on there, just like that. So we're gonna go ahead and put it on. So there it is, it's just sitting in place. The bolts aren't even all the way in. But remember these little springs. Told you I'd show you where they go. There's a little hole right there, and there's a little hole right there. One goes on the top, the other one does the exact same thing on the bottom. And there they are, they're just going like that. Some hardware kits don't even come with them. These ones are really strong. They want to shove the brake pads out on me, which is, you know, moderately annoying, but we can do it. Okay, when I put that bottom spring on, it does want to spread. That's annoying. So we're going to put the caliper on to hold it in place. I can't do that on camera because you need hands, but it's just going to bolt right there, swing down in place, and bolt to the bottom. Put some of that please don't get stuck stuff on my bolts, because, you know, that way when I drop them in the dirt, then there'll be lots of stuff all over. Before we put this on, you don't have to do this, but it'll make bleeding them easier. I put a little bit of brake fluid in here, whatever your vehicle calls for. You can look it up in your owner's manual or in a service manual. You can do it. And then I actually like to disconnect my old one now. I didn't disconnect it before because I don't like to recycle all of my brake fluid into my dirt floor. And then we're going to connect it right here. It takes a crush washer, then the fitting, then a crush washer, then the bolt. And I'll sort of give you a look at that a little later on. Okay, there it is. There's a little tab that lines up right in there, you know, so you get it right. Clean up all your seating surfaces. You got crush washer on the bottom, fitting, crush washer, bolt, and then torque it down to spec. And the torque value is on the same sheet as all the other torque values for the rest of this job. And you should look it up in the factory service manual. Don't take some idiot like me's word for it on the internet. That said, I'll post the page here to save you a little bit of time. Here it is, it's all torqued in. Torqued, bottom one's torqued, torqued, bottom one's torqued, banjo bolt's torqued. Clean it all up so when you bleed your brakes, you can tell if it's leaking anywhere. Now, brake bleeding is a whole nother subject altogether. You do it from this little thing right here with the cap on it. Pop this cap off, and away you go. Find somebody else's video for that. I'm genuinely not qualified to teach you anything. I'm just a guy saying you can probably do it. There's great brake bleeding videos on the internet. Go for that. I'm gonna go get one of the younger humans in my family to come out and pump a brake pedal for me, because they've all been trained for that by this point in their life. And you're gonna look up torque values, because I didn't tell them. They're gonna come on the screen. You're gonna see a little white wrench inside a black square with 3 numbers. When you read those are torque values in Newton meters, kilogram meters, foot pounds. If it's a black wrench and a white square, it's Newton millimeters, kilogram meters, inch pounds. But I think all the ones on this page are white wrench, black square. You can figure it out. Why wouldn't I just tell you the value? Because I was raised, you know, teach a man to fish, feed him for a lifetime. Give a man a fish, you only feed him once. So you can figure it out. They're free. NicoClub.com. Any Nissan manual you want. Okay, they're all bled. I'm gonna put the wheels back on and take it for a drive and seat them. What could possibly go wrong? Many things, many things. That's what could go wrong. There we go. What started out as an investigative journey ends with 2 calipers changed, fresh brake pads on each side, and I clean up the rotors just, you know, with a wire, the wheel. Yeah, anyway, they're brand new. They're not really, but they're close. Maybe you can do it. Maybe this won't help at all. That's okay. Let me know how you made out anyway. Have a good one.